This is Georgia Foam Flies. Today we're going to tie a PMD Sparkle Dunn. Okay, this nice simple pattern, but it's a great pattern because you can change stuff around and add some different types of wings and really flare this pattern up. I'll give you an example, like here's one right here. What I do a little different though is it's tied with brown yarn. Traditionally, I'm just using cow hair, so some brown cowtail. Okay, but that's just the basic one with the wing where you want a fanned out wing. But you can also tie them with wally wings, or you can tie them with a little bit of both. You get the wally wings and the fanned out cowtail. But for now, we're just going to tie the basic one, and it's a fun tie. And all you really need is some yellow thread. I mixed my own yellow dubbing. It's basically yellow zonker. I've got some flash in there, a little bit of red, a little bit of olive green, a little sparkle in there. Just gives it that sparkle, hence PMD Sparkle Dunn. I've got some off-white, tannish deer hair, or you can do it in white. And we'll go ahead and we'll get started. So what we want to do first is we're going to take some yellow thread and we're going to tie it in halfway back. Now we want to keep the thread nice and flat on this, and just go right to the gap. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is take a little bit of brown cowtail. Not much. It's a small fly. Again, you tie this out any of the loose stuff. Tail you only want a little longer than maybe the gap length. So I'm going to take the tail off right here, setting it on top, and give it about 2 nice wraps. 3. I'm going to peel it up and just kind of cut it on an angle. Yeah, you want to just tie it in. Okay, we're going to go forward and then back about halfway. Halfway between where the halfway point where we stop the brown and halfway between the front, right behind the eye. And we're going to take some hair. Now we want the hair to be about twice the length of the gap. So I'll show you here in a second. I'll cut some off. Okay, what I mean that is like we're doing roughly, it's a little too much. There we go. About the gap's right there, so about twice the length in the gap. Okay, so we do want to stack this. So we want to take out any of the hair that doesn't fit. Let's put this in our stacker. Put it down a little. Now for this wing, we want it about the shaft length, or the length that you have right of the yellow thread you've tied in already. So I'm going to take it off here, pulling it nice and flat. I'm going to flip it around. Again, get it nice and flat. So what I want is like that right there. And I want it to be the length of the shaft. So maybe about right there. And then I'm going to go right where I measured off the length of the shaft, right there by my fingernail. I'm going to go right in and I'm going to tie it in, drop it right down, do it nice and tight, and put a couple wraps in there. Okay, so while I have this in my hand, I'm going to do the same exact thing as before, but the opposite. I'm going to cut it on an angle, trim it all off. And it's alright if it wraps around or floats around. We're going to pull it all up anyway. So let's fill in a little bit of the gap here so we get it nice even. go right to the base. And when you're at the base, what you want to do is you want to pick up from the bottom and wrap it right over and make sure you got all the hair. And you want to dam it up right behind it. I mean right in front of it for the eye. Couple wraps. Go back again, right to the base. Let it go forward. And you'll see if you got it nice and flat and tight on there, that's what you should see right there. So I'm going to bring the back here to the back again. Right here. Now I want to go all the way back to the beginning. Let this unwrap a little bit. Now you can use for your dubbing, of course you can use your regular, you'll notice here there's no hair on the bottom, which is what we want. So for your dubbing you can use commercial dubbing, natural dubbing, whatever yellow you want. You can dub it in like normal. I like to split the hair on this because I'm going to take mostly all the dubbing out. So I'm just going to kind of split the thread a little. Take it up through here, put it on my finger just to hold that dubbing in place so I can twist it. Okay, so just kind of do that. I'm going to grab a little dubbing with my other hand, roll it up in my fingers, flatten it out. I even threw a little CDC in there. Just a nice little stew of dubbing of different things. And I'm going to just kind of get that in there, pull it up a little, split it apart a little, so I'll drop the thread so I can work with it a little. Okay, I'm going to kind of just twist. So I'll start catching it. Okay, and once it's locked in there a little bit, what I like to do is I'll start at the top, pull a little bit out at a time. Okay, and I'm going to kind of stretch it in a little. Working it back and forth. Okay, wrap it a little more. And a big old piece of flash in here. Let's get that up there. Okay, so when I got this in place, and just like that, I'm going to do some nice easy wrapping. Try not to build it up too much in one spot. Go right to the back. Take this, pull it right forward, wrap it up, stop right behind the eye. Ooh. Right behind the eye. Put that back up. You always want to keep playing with this forward and keeping it fanned out so you know you don't have any extra string that was turning around that may have been causing that to fan back. Okay, I'm going to take it and just whip it forward a little, or finish it off. Right there. Let's do some head cement. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do is I'm going to tease up the body a little bit and then trim it a little bit so I can get it nice and even. And that's including this tail back here. If you do this with yarn, just separate the yarn to just the fibers and do the same thing with that. I have the cowtail here, so I thought, you know, just do it with that. Okay, so now once I got this teased up a little bit, take my trimming scissors. There we go. I think when you make your own dubbing and you get a little bit of that red, and you get a little bit of that olive, a little bit of that red, yellow, and olive in here, and you get that sparkle in there, this makes a really nice attractor. And keep those fanned out nice. And there you go.